Hello friends, welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to build a pre-trained unit architecture where we are going to use EfficientNet as the pre-trained encoder. To learn more about it, make sure that you watch the complete video and subscribe the channel for more such awesome content. You can also take the membership to support the channel and fund my research. So let's start the video now. Here we are in our Atom text editor and we have our model.py file. First of all, we are going to import all the required layers and the functions. So we have imported all the layer including convolution, Bayes normalization, activation and more layers. Next, we have imported the model class. Next, I'm going to show you which version of the TensorFlow I am using. So first of all, we are going to import TensorFlow STF. Then we are going to print TensorFlow version. We're going to say tf dot version. Okay, so you can see we are using TensorFlow version 2.5.0. Now we're going to open its documentation for the TensorFlow 2.5.0. Okay, so we are using EfficientNet as a pre-trained encoder. So we're going to look in the tf.keras API, then we go to the application part, and then here you can see we have 8 EfficientNet models: B0, B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, B6, B7. So we start with the B0. Okay, and we are going to import this EfficientNet B0 architecture, and we will use it as the pre-trained encoder. So let's import it. Okay, so we have imported this this EfficientNet B0 architecture, and you have 7 more remaining. So you can use any, instead of B0 you can use B1 or you can use B7, B6, anyone ranging from B0 to B7. Okay, you can use anyone. The procedure would remains the same. You just have to go through this video once, and after that you can learn how to use rest of the network easily. Okay, so now we'll start working on the unit part. Okay, so first of all we are going to build the convolution block where it would have a convolution layer followed by Bayes normalization and a ReLU, and again we would have a 3x3 convolution layer followed by Bayes normalization and a ReLU. So this is the basic convolution block that a unit architecture use, and we require it during the decoder part. So we are writing it before the encoder. So we're going to say con block. Okay, and we're going to say inputs, and then you take number of filters. So first it is followed by the convolution layer. So this is our convolution layer, and we provide it the inputs as the input, main input. Next it is followed by the Bayes normalization and the ReLU activation function. Okay, now we are again going to repeat these 3 layers, but the input is going to be changed this time. So input for the second convolution layer would be the output of the first activation for function. Okay, then we're going to return X. Okay, so we have successfully built this convolution block. Okay, so let me just show you how it would work. Okay, so we need an input layer. Okay, and we're gonna have inputs equals to input. So we're gonna have a shape of, let's say, 256 by 256 by 3. Now we say C is equals to con block, and input would be not CC, it should not be, it should be X as the output of the convolution block, and input would be, use it in capital format. Let's say inputs number of filter would be 32. Now I'm going to print X dot shape. Okay, now we're going to run it again. Okay, so you can see the output of the convolution block is 256 by 256 by 32. Okay, so that's how this convolution block work. Next we start building the EfficientNet unit. Okay, so we're going to say def build. This is the name of the function, efficient, EFFECIENT, efficient. unit. Okay, and it would take input shape. Okay, next we need to define the input layer. So we're gonna say inputs is equals to input, and then we would give it the input shape as the parameter. Okay, so we have this input layer with this specific given input shape. Okay, and this input shape would be given as the argument for this function build efficient net unit. Okay, next if we need to load our pre-trained encoder, that is efficient net. So we're gonna say pre-trained encoder. So let's load this encoder. Okay, so we have successfully loaded this efficient net b0 encoder, where we say include top is equals to false. So we don't want to include any classifier layer on the top of this architecture. We have loaded the weights from ImageNet, and we have said input tensor is equals to inputs. So this input layer acts as the input for this pre-trained encoder. Okay, next we have printed a summary for this. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna call this architecture, not architecture, this function first of all, and it would take some shape. So input shape, we're gonna define input shape as, let's say, 256 by 256 by 3. Okay, we're gonna run it. Okay, so you can see the complete architecture. It contains this amount of parameter. Okay, now this is the whole efficient net b0 architecture. Now what we all need to do, this is basically the encoder part and the bridge part for the entire unit. Okay, we just need to build the decoder from scratch. So now from this whole architecture, we need to extract the layer for the skip connections, because decoder takes skip connection from the encoder, if you remember the unit architecture. So let me just show you a diagram of the unit. Okay, so here you can see this is the original diagram for the unit architecture. Let me just open it again. Okay, so this is this architecture. Okay, now you can see a large shape. So you can see this is the left side is basically 4 encoder block, and in between this is the bridge or the bottleneck layer. So this complete encoder and this bridge would be built from the pre-trained efficient net b0. Okay, and we need to extract out these 4 gray arrows. These basically skip connection from the pre-trained network. So we're going to do this. So first pre-trained encoder would be of shape as the, so would be, okay, so the shape for the first skip connection will be same as the input layer. Okay, because the skip connection is before the max pooling. Okay, you can see this arrow as a max pooling, and it is before this. So after the second mix pool block would be half the shape, then again half, then again half. Okay, so this way it follows. So we're going to say s1 equals to encoder. Okay, encoder, then we say get layer, then we need a name of the layer, and we're going to say output. So here we need to provide the name of the layer. So initial input shape is 256 by 256. So we need any feature, any activation function of this shape, entire architecture. Okay, so you can see it start with only 256, then we have 256 again rescaling, and then we have normalization, the 256 by 256. Okay, and then we have padding 257. Okay, so what we can take first, so we can use input as a first skip connection because we don't have any other feature. Okay, now I'm going to copy this 3 more times. We need to change the name. Okay, so we're going to say it s2, s3 and s4. We're going to remove these names. Okay, now we need another feature map of the shape 128. This is 256. Okay, next we need a feature map of the shape 128. Okay, so we're going to go below and see. Okay, so here's the ending of the 128, and it's 128. So we need this. So this is basically an activation function, output of the activation layer. Okay, basically activation is maybe ReLU is used here, I cannot confirm. So this is basically in skip connection is better to use activation function output. Okay, so this would act as a second skip connection. Okay, let me just give a little tab here, and we're gonna say 128. Okay, now the third would be 64. So we're gonna go below. Okay, so we have found 64 block 3a underscore expand underscore activation. Okay, now we're gonna say 64. Okay, and at last we need 32. Okay, so we have this block 4a. So output size would be 32. Okay, so this is done. Now we need the bottleneck or the bridge. Again, we're gonna copy this and we're gonna say b1. B1. We will remove this. Okay. Now it would be, here it is 32, so it would be 64, not 64, 16. Half of 32 is 16. So we're gonna search for the 16, the ending part, ending, the last should be, I think. Okay, let's go below. Okay, so we finally found 16, so it's block 6a. Okay, so its output would be 16. So you can see how we have used our pre-train encoder. So this procedure would remain same for any other thing. Like in case you have, like, you want to have escape connection of shape 256 by 256 and you have by mistaken in the network with some, there's some things in the pre-train encoder, it have a shape of, let's say, 257. Okay, not 6. So you can do cropping here. If you have a size little less, you can say, let's, you have 254, so you can pad it with 0. So like this, you have to manage the shape. Shape should always remain the same because it has to concatenate with other features. So where there, the height and width of the skip feature map should remain the same. Okay, so this is basically part from the pre-train encoder. Now we'll move to the decoder part. So again, move to the diagram. So if you can see, the decoder start basically with a up 2 by 2 up convolution, or we can say 2 by 2 transpose convolution, then followed by a concatenation with the skip connection. Okay, then normal convolution block. So let's do that. So we're gonna say decoder block. First it would take inputs, then skip, you can say skip features, then number of filters. Okay, so it first start with a 2 by 2 transpose convolution. Okay, now then it is followed by the concatenation of the output of the transpose convolution, the skip feature map, then simply followed by the convolution block. X would be the input and we have number of filters, second input. Okay, we're gonna return X here. So this is all about decoder block. Now we'll start with the decoder part. So we're gonna say D1. Let's do decoder block. So its input would be B1, the bottleneck layer. If we go to the diagram again, so you can see the first decoder block would take, oh, here is the first G decoder block, this last, okay, not last, like last from the diagram point of view because it's from the bottom, but the first decoder block, and it takes skip connection 4 as the input. So we're going to do the same. We're going to say S4 and number of filter, let's say 512. Okay, like this, the entire, we have 3 more decoder blocks. Okay, let's do one thing. Before that, let's pin the shape of D1 now, because we also have to check if there's any issue, any problem. So we're gonna do that and you're gonna run it again. So let me just remove this line from here. Like here, the shape of B1 is 16 by 16. The shape of the shape of B1 is 16 by 16. I assume the shape of D1 should be 32 by 32. Okay, so you can see its shape is 32 by 512. So it's really good. We have got the correct shape. So here we're gonna say 32. Next, it follows the same. We have D2, and its input would be D1 and skip connection S3 and number of filters 256. So its output would be 64. Let's print that also. Okay, you can see we have the shape 64 by 64 by 256. We're gonna do same for next two. We have D3 and input would be D2 and skip connection S2 and number of filters half, that is 128. So here the shape should be 128. Okay, let's print it also. Okay, so we have the shape 128 by 128 by 128. Okay, that's good. Now finally we have our last decoder block. We name it D4 and input would be D3, chip connection S1 and number of filters S64. Okay, so its shape would be 256, same as the input shape. Okay, so you can see its shape is 256 by 256 by 64. Okay, so decoder part is complete now. Now we'll move to the classifier or the output layer. Output is basically a one by one convolution followed by the sigmoid activation function. Like if you are working on a binary segmentation, you would have one as the number of filters because you have one class, only the main class. Okay, and followed by sigmoid activation. And if you have more than one class, you can specify number of classes. Let's say you have 10 number of classes, you will write 10 here, and here you will write softmax. Okay, so that's how it would work. In future I will also bring some videos on multi-class segmentation also. So if you want me to bring multi-class segmentation video, please comment down below. Okay, so this is the output layer and its shape should be 256 by 256 by 1. So let's print the shape, outputs dot shape. Okay, so you can see we have a shape of 256 by 256 by 1. So we have start with the shape of 256 by 256 by 3 and we have passed through various layers, the pre-trained encoder, the bottleneck layer, and we have passed through decoder, then the output layer, and we have get our finally our mask, the shape of 256 by 256 by 1. Okay, so we have both the input and the output correctly. Now we'll build the model. We're going to say model equals to model class, and you take inputs, outputs. Okay, and we can give it a name. We can call it efficient net B0 unit. Okay, now we can return the model. Okay, we can say model equals to this, and we're going to say model dot summary. Okay, okay, so you can see the complete summary of the architecture is like really huge. I will also zoom in. Okay, so you can see it start with the shape of 256 by 256 by 3, then it goes through the entire pre-trained encoder, then the bridge, and then it follows through the decoder where the features are enhanced, upscaled, and then we finally get our required mask with the shape of 256 by 256 by 1. So you can see the number of parameter. Yeah, these are trainable, and we have even some untrainable parameter. These untrainable parameter are basically from the Bayes normalization. It contains some untrainable parameters also. So that's all about the pre-trained unit with efficient net B0. I hope you can like try with more like B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, B6, B7. So just try them with all. If you have any issue, comment below. I'll just try to answer them. Okay, sometimes I don't answer these comments and question and the queries which send me on my social media and these comments because like I'm literally very busy with multiple projects and research paper. Please do understand that. I just try to, or I can make some more videos if you want, like on B1 to B7. It's not an issue. Things basically remains the same. You just need to work on this part carefully. Rest everything would remains the same. Okay, you can change this number of filter according to your requirement. If you are like really low level hardware like me, you cannot train with these high number of filters. You have to reduce. Okay, so it's up to you how you modify the architecture to your rated requirement. So I hope you are able to understand and get the concept how you're going to build a pre-trained unit with the help of efficient net B0 as a pre-trained encoder. And if you still have any have any query, question, any suggestion, please comment below or message me on my social media. Thank you. Have a nice day.